Hi guys, it's Sid. I want to thank you guys so much for all your comments on my last video, all the support. Thank you for the emails and the encouraging words that you sent me. I really appreciate that. That's really awesome of you guys. We really are like a soul tribe here. Those of us who are all here together, we don't know each other, but we're united because we're all looking for the real truth that's out there. We're all looking for justice for what we went through dealing with this cult. Before I start this video, I want to tell you that this is a very personal video. I'm sharing this because my half-brother Micah deserves to be remembered, and because his story is not unique. It's part of a much bigger pattern that affects countless LGBTQ+ people inside of this Jehovah's Witness cult. This video may be difficult for some people to watch, especially if you grew up in a high-control religion or experienced religious trauma. Please take care of yourself as you listen. Micah wasn't just a gay Jehovah's Witness. He was a real person. He had a heart. He had dreams. He wanted to be loved, and he wanted to love. He wanted the same basic human things that we all want: connection, acceptance, belonging. And yet the environment that he grew up in taught him that something core to who he was made him unacceptable. Micah was the youngest of 4 children. He was born into the Jehovah's Witness cult. And I didn't know him very well. In fact, I never even met him. He was from my dad's previous marriage. And although I did spend time with 3 of the other children briefly, I never got to meet Micah. Micah was the one who ran away the day that I was born. And I believe it could have been due to this situation, but I'm not sure. So anyway, what happened was Micah had been through something very traumatic. He was sexually assaulted by a neighbor at a very young age. And then one day, somewhere down the road, not too far, he was caught with homosexual, sexually explicit material. You can imagine how this was taken by my dad. And once the family found out that he was interested in that sort of thing, that's when the shunning began. That's when the ridicule began. And you can imagine for a young boy, this had to be very heartbreaking and traumatic because he was just being himself. You're being ridiculed for being something you can't help. And I heard that his oldest sister was the one that was probably the hardest on him. That had to be very heartbreaking. Growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, Micah learned very early that being gay was not acceptable. He was taught that he could exist, but only if he completely denied himself love, intimacy, and an authentic connection. The message was, you're allowed to live, but only if you never live fully. That kind of pressure creates deep shame and fear and emotional isolation. Imagine knowing that people who truly knew you, you could lose your family, you could lose your friends, your entire community. When it was discovered that Micah had these feelings, he faced intense shame and ridicule. Jehovah's Witness shunning isn't just social distance. It's total emotional abandonment. Your friends stop speaking to you. Your family withdraws from you. It's like you become invisible overnight. You're treated like you're dead, even though you're still alive. And for some already struggling with identity crisis, worth and belonging, that kind of rejection is devastating. People underestimate the psychological toll this takes on a person. There's constant shame, constant fear, constant self-policing, and constant loneliness. Many LGBTQ+ Jehovah's Witnesses live in survival mode every day. They're afraid to breathe too loudly. They're afraid to feel too deeply. and they're afraid to be seen for who they really are. Over time, that level of pressure breaks people, and sometimes it causes them to self-delete. Micah deserved much better. He deserved compassion, safety. He deserved love. I'm sharing this because silence protects harmful systems. These stories stay hidden because people are afraid of the shunning, afraid of the backlash, afraid of reopening wounds. Silence allows the cycle to continue. And I don't want Micah's pain to be invisible. If you're watching this and you are LGBTQ+, and you're trapped inside this Jehovah's Witness cult, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not broken. You are not sinful. And you are not defective. There's nothing wrong with the way you love. You deserve joy. You deserve true connection. You deserve to lead a full life. Even if you can't leave right now, your life has value, and your existence matters, and you are not alone. Micah finally left the cult. From what I was told, he joined the military and wasn't able to take it. I'm sure something happened that has to do with his sexual orientation, because you know how the military is about that. So he eventually went AWOL. Later on in his life, he did marry a partner, and he lived his life, hopefully happily, or at least with moments of joy. But from what I've heard, he rarely smiled, he rarely laughed. He felt incomplete and sad most of his life. He eventually died of AIDS in the late 90s. And this video is for Micah. His story matters. His life mattered. And I hope that by sharing this, even one person feels less alone, and one more voice is added to the truth that needs to be told, that needs to be heard. I want to end this video by sharing a famous quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but by the silence of our friends. Thank you for listening. You are loved. Take care.